Good morning, this is Elaine with Elaine's Custom Cards. Today is going to be the July paper pumpkin on my mind. These are the ones that are designed for the kit, and then these are some alternatives that you could make. That Stampin' Up put this in our kit for this month, and they coordinate with 3 different suites: the Woven Thread Suite, the Garden Lane Suite, and the Come Sail Away Suite. I'll be using some of this on one card, and some of the Come Sail Away stamps for this card, and then I don't have this suite yet, so it'll be a surprise for you what I'm going to do with that one. I'll try to make them all today. I've got them all ready to go. So let's start with this one. It's a little bit different. I used saffron instead of the green circle because I wanted it to look like a sun. And then I stamped the envelope with the ship, the sailboat, this one right here from the Sailing Home suite. And then I stamped the birds on here, and then I did the same thing on the front of the envelope. So that's how I did the envelope for this one. So let's get started on this. This is what the inside looks like. I thought it turned out cute. So I've got all the pieces cut out and stamped, so I can try and get as many of these cards as I can. It'll be pretty simple to put together. I cut the front of the card, or cut the card apart, and then I have a piece of thick Whisper White. This piece is the back of the card, and it's 5 1/4 by 4. This was the front, and I cut it down to 5 1/8 by 3 7/8. And we're going to adhere that to our green piece. And that is Mossy Meadow. This is. So we'll just have this very thin border. I just thought it looked nice with a border on there. And then we're going to set that aside for a second. And this is a strip that I cut off the side. And if you see what I did here, I just glued it here, and this piece is 5 by 3. No, it's 5 1/2. It's 5 1/2 by 3/8, and I'm going to adhere that. So you want to make sure when you trim your card base that you trim it lengthwise first, so that you get this long strip if you're going to do this alternative. So I did that. Then I took this stamp that says "You're the Best," and I stamped it on the inside, and then stamped the boat and the birds. So this is the stamp set. So let's set that aside for a minute. I'll stamp that later. And let's get started on the front here. So the first thing I did was, and I didn't know if I liked the birds right there. It's kind of interesting, but I'm thinking, I don't know. I haven't decided. I might stamp it later. Let's put the clouds on first. I wish there would have been more pieces in there so we could do more. Not sure exactly where that sits, but we'll just put it right there. And I'll put the other one on because these are all underneath. Like that. And I'm going to put my circle, and this is about a 3-inch circle. Like I said, it's so saffron. I just decided I wanted a big yellow sun. So I'm making it a little bit off the edge over here. Okay. And then we're going to put our sailboat on, and I'm putting it flat because I'm having other things up on dimensionals, so I'm not worried about this piece because my wheel's going to be over that. Now this circle was a little bit bigger than this one. I decided I wanted it bigger. So we'll put our ship right about there, our sailboat. Just like that. And then I've already mounted the wheel to the dimensional that came. I found it easier to put it on there than the other way. And then we'll add our wheel to the center of our circle as best we can. Just like so. And then I stamped this with this and punched it out with one of the circle dies, or you can just cut it. I found it easier just to cut it because I didn't want any white edges. And then I took the center of the dimensional that came with it, because it's the circle around the outside, and I don't know if you can see, there's a little circle, and that's what I used behind this. I thought that worked well for this. And then you got to find west, north, and south so that you put it on there right side up. And then I put this a little over. Looks like I'm going to be covering up part of my sailboat this time, but that's okay. So I put that right there. And then I took my happy birthday and I glued the top of the happy birthday to the little strip. And this happy birthday came from the stamp set. And I stamped it in Night of Navy. And these are just the sizes punch outs that were in the kit, so I didn't alter them at all. And I stamped that on Whisper White. Oops. Of course it moved. I want that centered as best I can get centered here. I'm having a little trouble there, centering. Okay, once I did that, then I took some dimensionals and put on the back. And I used large ones because I felt like it needed them. So put these on the back. And then put it kind of down. I didn't want to cover up my ship. And it's okay if it goes over the edge, just like so. Then I took the string that came in the kit and wrapped it around and tied first I tied a knot because I wanted it to stay. Let me cut this. Okay. I don't normally like doing this on camera because sometimes my fingers don't work real well, but Let's see what we can do here. Tie this in a knot first, because I don't want it to move. Okay, it's a little bit loose, but not too bad. And I wanted it kind of over the top of the happy birthday there, in the corner. Just like that. And then you can tie your bow. That way you know your bow's not going to come untied. Well, it might come untied, but it's not going to come off your card. Let's try doing it this way. Since that one is a little bit short. There. Okay. I don't know how that happened, but okay. Then you just cut your string there. And then I took a glue dot, and I took a smaller one that I had left over from a previous paper pumpkin. And what I wanted was to get the top off of there, because I'm going to curl it if possible. That's not going to work. Right behind here, but I want it to be smaller, so get the back off. See, this is going to be a challenge for me today. There. Okay. Then I wanted to fold it over on itself so there wouldn't be any sticky showing. And then stick it to the corner, just like that. Okay. Then we're going to just adhere it to the front of the card. Like I said, your string should stay since it was tied in a knot first. Glue that to the front, and then take your little sequins that came in the kit. To be really careful with these, because sometimes the sticky stays on the plastic sheet. So I took one of the larger ones and put a smaller one over here, and then I put one of these up here by the clouds, and then I stamped my birds there, and then I stamped on the inside. I think I showed you already, but that's what I did to the inside. So I still need to do that, and I'm going to do that off camera so that I know it'll be straight. Anyway, that's your first card right there. The next card was this one right here. And I used a woven thread stamp set. I stamped the envelope with this image and then this image right here, and I stamped off, and I used terracotta tile for this image, and then this was Seaside Spray. So then I stamped on the inside the happy birthday that was on this stamp set right there. And I stamped that image again. I stamped off and then stamped with terracotta tile. That's all I did to the inside. I took a piece of the DSP, and I've cut all my DSP up and put it in one of these stamp cases, and it's the Woven Series, Designer Series paper, and I just picked a color that I liked to put on there. And then I took this piece is 5 1/4 by 4, and then I trimmed the piece that came with the set to 4 by 3. So that it would fit right across here in the center, and I adhered that. The center of this card is best you can get centered. Like so. And then I took another piece of the woven threads. It looks like this on one side and is terracotta tile on the other, and it's 4 by 3/8, 1 3/8. I knew it was more than 3/8. And then I adhered that to the center of this. And then I took another piece of this, and I took the from Frosted Bouquet Framelits dies, this image right here, and I punched out, this is a pretty peacock piece, and it looks like that on the back, and then this is was part of this, and I punched out one of those from it, and then I just adhered it to the right side of this card. I just put a little bit of glue on there. I don't want too much, but I didn't want it, it's very delicate, so I didn't want it pulling off. So I just put dots of glue in different places on there, and then put it on here, just like that. And then I took this one that I punched out of that piece and did the same thing. Just put little dots of liquid glue. These cards were fun to create with. Paper Pumpkin gives you different ideas to get creative with your paper. It's supposed to stick to this and not me. So let's see if we can get that to stick down. There. Okay. Then I took this is Pretty Peacock ribbon, and I took one of the large glue dots that came in the kit and stuck it to the back of the bow here. Well, okay, it's stuck. And I put it kind of over the top and in the center, but over the top of those sprigs right there. And then I took tape. I just tied this in a knot. It's not a bow, it's kind of thick. And of course I tied it around something. I can show you how I did that if I have time at the end of the video. Anyway, that's what I did with that. Then I took Stampin' Dimensionals. This is a 2 3/4 inch circle. I used circle die, but it was just as easy to cut around this gold, and I got this circle from another paper pumpkin that I had. But you can use just regular Whisper White. It's just what I'm trying to use up some of my old paper pumpkin elements that I have. And I put these so that they wouldn't be on that bow or that ribbon. And that's the Pretty Peacock ribbon that's in the annual catalog. I thought it went well with this. It was the right colors, just added something. I stamped this with Pretty Peacock ink, and then I just kind of centered it here on this piece here, and tried to make it straight, just like that. Okay, then I took my card front, and then I put dimensionals on the back of this. I'll start with using this piece right here, just to use up some of the edges there. Okay. I have one more card to show you. I'm using an edge because it kind of helps hold that piece of ribbon in place. Okay. Try to keep these videos around 20 minutes, but I think this one might be a little bit longer. So there's the front of this card, and then put the sequins on there. I thought these were pretty sequins. I know there was another one on there, but I don't. Oh, there it is, right there. Let's see if we can get that one on there, right there. Okay, now the inside of this card I showed you already, so we're not going to stamp it for the sake of time. Here's the last card. Looks like this. That's the inside, and I used for this card from Best Birds, I used for the inside, I used Your Friendship Means the World to Me from right here. And then this comes from First Frost. And then I used the elements and I stamped it on the envelope. So let me show you what I did. I don't know if I have time to put it together, but let's see. This is from the this is from Perennial Essence Designer Series paper. I really liked that and I thought it looked good. I stamped this with Mossy Meadow. This piece is, if I can read it, 4 15/16, which is an odd amount, by 3 3/4. The front white panel is 5 1/16 by 3 7/8, and all I did was glue this to the front of my card base. I glued this to the inside after I stamped it. I like to stamp my inside before I glue it in, just in case I mess it up. I didn't alter this base. This base came in the paper pumpkin. Oh, I didn't write the size down, but I think I'll tell you in a second what it is. This is 3 5/8 by 4 7/8. Okay. Then I took, this came from the kit, and I had cut this piece in half. Well, almost in half. This is 4 15/16 by 1 1/2. And I glued that to the front, right in the center. of my card. The reason I think the reason this is an odd size is because this piece that was in the kit was a little bit shorter than what I originally had cut this, and that's the 15/16 amount. Then I took these two things that came in the kit, and I put just a dab of glue on each leaf because I didn't want it to come off. And just kind of stuck it down. And then I took this one. Ugh, that's too much. Get some of that off. Okay, we're going to stick this one down here like this. And then I took the sprig that was in the kit, put a bit of glue on that, hopefully I can get just a little on there. And just kind of put that on here. Right about there. Get some of the glue off. And then I took my sentiment, stamped it with Mossy Meadow. Took the green one first, that's mint macaron. And I just kind of angled it just like that across the front. Didn't use any dimensionals on the card front. And I took this piece and kind of did sort of the same thing. Just angled it like that. And then I took my mint macaron ribbon that's in the annual catalog, and I tied it around something to get my bow, and took a glue dot, put on the back of the bow to hold it in place. It's like so. Come on. There. And put it on this corner, just like that. And then I took tape, taped it to the back so it wouldn't move. This piece is 5 1/16 by 3 7/8. I think I said that already, but that's okay. Alright, tape this side, and then I put dimensionals on the back to adhere it to the front of the card. And this card's almost done. Got enough supplies to make at least 3 more cards or more, depending on whether I use the card bases for the card or whether I do something different. A lot of times I'll make the cards that come in the kit just the way they are, but I haven't done that yet. So I just adhere this to the front, take my sequins, and put them on the front of the card. I think it adds something to the card. I think they're really pretty. I'll put it right there. And that's your third card. So the 3 cards we did today are, let's use this one. I'm sorry if this video is a little bit sketchy and some blurry in some places. For some reason my camera will only do 4 gigabytes, and anyway, so I got, these are the cards, the finished cards. I wanted to let you know that if you want to get on my paper pumpkin, just go to my website, elainedotson.stampinup.net, or you can email me on how to get signed up for paper pumpkin. If you want to order any of the products that I used, you can also order those on my website. I hope that you enjoyed these. Please give me a thumbs up if you like them. I have enough stuff. I can maybe do another one. We'll see. Anyway, you have a blessed day. Enjoy stamping. Remember that with every $50 purchase in the month of July, you get a $5 coupon that you can spend next month on orders. And right now, Stampin' Up! Is offering an extra incentive to become a demonstrator, and I'd be happy to have you on my team. Costs $99 and you get $155 worth of product, and then another coupon worth $10 that's good until the end of October, I believe, to purchase more product. So you have a blessed day and enjoy your crafting. Thank you so much for watching.